Okay guys, here is your recipe for the day. I don't know if I'll have one every day, but I'm just launching a bunch of them right now. We are going to make, I'm going to flip you around here. We're going to be making cauliflower crust pizza. And let me tell you something. If you've ever had cauliflower crust pizza at most of the restaurants, and I know at the stores, almost all of them have a ton of carbs, and most of them are rice. If you look at the ingredients, it's rice. It's cauliflower, but it's also rice. We are going to make this recipe. I actually got this recipe off buffdudes.com. Their YouTube channel. They have some great, silly name, but great recipes. So this is the ingredients we're going to use. A lot of you have been telling me, Zach, hey, it's great and all that you're making this stuff, but can you please show us how to make it, because we don't know how. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more descriptive when I make this stuff. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be taking 2 cups of rice. You just get this at any store, basically. This is the one I'm using. It's fantastic. It cooks so well. I wasn't a believer until I tried this recipe in rice cauliflower, and I eat it all the time. I'm a big fan of fat-free cheese. Before all you cheese experts start telling me how bad it is for me, I'm all about eating for macros with a little bit of a balance too. I try to keep everything organic and healthy, but I am going to also mix in the lowest calorie option so I can eat more. I am also mixing in turkey pepperoni. These things, I know they have some nitrates in them, but I'm telling you, you can eat, like, with the cheese and the pepperoni, you can eat like 5 times as much as normal. And if you don't eat it every day, it's okay, in my opinion at least. We're going to be taking, so basically what we're doing is 2 cups rice cauliflower. We're going to need 2 whole eggs, a ½ cup shredded cheese. We're going to need parsley, oregano, 3/4 of a cup of pasta sauce. You can use basically whichever one you want. I would go with the lowest calorie option available. And then we're going to finish that off with 48 grams of pepperoni, turkey pepperoni. So anyways, I'm going to start prepping all that, and I'll show you how to put it all together before you throw it in the oven. Then it's a really simple recipe. But the macros on this puppy for pizza, you can eat a whole pizza. You're going to be blown away by this one. It is, when I first saw it and I saw the macro content, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, oh, that changes my thought process on some of the ingredients. Anyways, I'll be back. So a little tip real quick, guys. I forgot to mention, if you're using frozen cauliflower rice, which I would suggest because it's the easiest, you want to saute it first. I've never cooking it frozen. I don't think it would come out great. So I just saute it with a little bit of olive oil. And let me tell you something, when you're doing cauliflower rice, add this bad boy, Red Star. You can use any nutritional yeast flakes, but this stuff is awesome. It makes the best cauliflower rice, whether you're making it Mexican style, fried rice, any kind. It adds kind of like a cheesy, crispy texture to it. And those macros, 60 calories and 8 grams of protein. So get that. So I'm going to make this up and I'll show you how to do the rest. Okay guys, cauliflower crust is done. The cauliflower rice is done sauteing. You want to make sure it's not too hot when you add your other ingredients, or you'll cook your egg. So in a bowl, I've added the cauliflower rice with oregano, salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning, and 2 eggs, and then some of the Kraft fat-free cheese. You're gonna mix this up, and then I'm gonna slide you on over here. We're gonna put this on parchment paper and make sure you spray this too. Make it look like a crust. You'll see once this is all blended together, it's gonna look just like a crust. We're preheating the oven to 450 degrees, which will go in for the crust for about 12 minutes. One last little point I want to show you guys is when you are cooking, use this guy. 2 things I can tell you right now that are game changers are using this guy for everything. Take the time to do it. You will be happy. It's real easy for us to kind of guesstimate how much we're entering in. That's one thing I've learned personally. It doesn't take much more time, especially since we're at home, and you're going to be happy with your results. The other thing is definitely, if you don't use the food scale, do MyFitnessPal or one of those. I can't tell you how much those will help you. You really have no idea what you're putting in your body and ratios, and you don't know where you're going, whether you want to put on weight, put on muscle, or lose weight. It's a guessing game at that point. So if you take nothing else from these videos, add a food scale and do MyFitnessPal. Okay, I'll show you the final pizza in a second. Just to show you guys so you know what it looks like. So, who would have, oops, try again. Who would have thought you could take some simple ingredients in your refrigerator or freezer and make a ginormous pizza crust just like this. It is a pretty cool feat. So I'm going to put it in the oven and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. One key thing here is make it a little thinner. It's better, it cooks a little crispier. Also, I added a little bit of water to cool it down quicker, which that's why it's a little bit runny right there, but it should be fine. Okay guys, it's out of the oven, it's cooling, and there she is. It came out a little darker. I think I put a little bit of that water in it to cool it down. I would not suggest doing that. But this thing is looking good. I tried a little sample of the outside and I've done it before and it is awesome. It's fantastic. I'll post the macros, but basically this whole thing, I believe if I remember correctly, has 9 grams of carbs in the whole pizza. So hopefully you enjoy it. Give it a try. Guys, I sampled a piece. Fantastic. It tastes great. Little tip, let it cool for a little bit first. The cauliflower crust is kind of soft at first, but after it cools for a while, it gets a lot more crispy. If you like real crispy, like my mom, Lois Wells, I would cook it another 10 minutes in the oven and make it very, very crisp. But I'm gonna flip you around here. Like I said, I sampled a piece of it. I put some red peppers on it. This thing is really, really good. I'm telling you, you do not miss the crust at all. It is awesome. It tastes fantastic. Really like the turkey pepperoni mozzarella combination, but it'd also be good with maybe onions, black olives, stuff like that. Guys, every time I think it's the last one, I have one more good idea. This is how you're going to perfect that pizza. I'm going to tell you right now. Cook it as I directed. After 12 to 15, let's say 15 minutes in the oven, peel it off the parchment paper and get yourselves one of these racks, these cooking racks. And I have a pan, it's in the dishwasher right now, but basically you set it on top of a pan like this. Put that in the oven with the toppings once it's firm enough to hold it for like 10 minutes, and it will, I'm telling you, it's gonna make that crust super crispy and thin, because the only thing is with that crust is a little soft. So you will, I'm gonna tell you, next time I'm gonna do that, it's gonna be money. Anyways, happy eating. I'm gonna go make a waffle now. Goodbye.